Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping straight into something pretty interesting. The global market for magnetometer sensors.
That's right. We've got a 2025 report here, and it's revealing some, well, surprising growth areas.
Yeah, exactly. So our mission really is to pull out the most important stuff, what's happening right now, where it's heading.
Cutting through the jargon, focusing on what's, relevant.
Right, from the tech in your phone to, say, advanced aerospace systems. We're using a pretty detailed market report forecasts, regional stuff, industry analysis.
It's act with data.
Okay, so let's kick things off. What's the big picture look like in terms of size?
Okay, so the report puts the global market size in 2025 at USD 400 and 280 million.
4.28 billion. Okay.
Yeah, but the really interesting part is the projection. It's expected to hit nearly USD 763.49 million by 2033.
Wow, that's a significant jump, almost double.
It is. It works out to a compound annual growth rate, a CAGR, of 7.90% between 2025 and 2033.
Okay, 7.9%. That's pretty healthy, sustained growth.
Definitely. It really shows how important this technology is becoming across, well, a lot of different sectors.
And this is based on, what, a 2024 base year with history going back to 2021.
That's correct. So it's grounded in, actual recent activity, not just guesswork.
Good. So what's pushing this? What are the main engines behind this growth? The report lists quite a few drivers.
Yeah, there are several key things. First off, just the growing demand in consumer electronics. That's a big one.
Right, like smartphones, wearables.
Exactly. And it's more than just the compass function now. Think gesture recognition, AR applications, even some gaming controllers are using them more.
So as our gadgets get smarter.
They rely more on this kind of sensing. Yeah.
Makes sense. But it's not just phones and watches, is it? Automotive seems like a really big piece of the puzzle, too.
Oh, absolutely. That's a huge driver, especially with ADAS, advanced driver assistance systems, and the whole EV revolution.
Right. ADS is everywhere now.
Yeah, and magnetometers are essential for things like wheel speed sensing, stability control, even precise position tracking for navigation.
All contributing to safety and efficiency.
Precisely. Key priorities for everyone involved.
And then there's aerospace and defense. That sounds like high-value, demanding stuff.
Extremely. Accuracy and reliability are absolutely critical there. We're talking advanced navigation in aircraft, spacecraft, various defense systems, even geophysical exploration for, say, mineral resources. The demand for precise magnetic field data just keeps climbing.
And I see IoT expansion and industrial automation listed, too.
Yes, exactly. The Internet of Things, connecting everything, that opens up tons of new applications. And in factories, for automation, monitoring equipment, sensing magnetic fields is becoming incredibly useful.
So everything from smart homes to smart factories.
Pretty much. And kind of underpinning all of this is the improvement in the sensors themselves.
Ah, right. Better accuracy, smaller size.
Exactly. As they get more accurate and we can make them smaller, you can just integrate them into more and more things. It expands the possibilities exponentially.
Okay, so a lot of positive momentum. But are there any speed bumps? Any restraints mentioned?
Yeah, there are always challenges. The report points to high production costs for some of the really advanced sensors.
Okay, so cost can be a barrier.
It can limit affordability, especially in price-sensitive areas, and also the calibration that can be quite complex for the high-precision ones.
Right. Adds cost and complexity to actually using them. Makes sense. Sensitive tech often needs careful handling. So looking forward then, what about trends? How is the tech itself evolving?
Well, one big trend is towards smaller multi-sensor solutions. So instead of separate sensors for magnetic field, temperature, acceleration, you're seeing moves to integrate multiple functions into one tiny package.
Interesting. More efficient, more versatile.
Exactly. A kind of holistic sensing approach in a smaller space.
And the other trend?
Just that continuous push for better sensitivity, detecting weaker fields more accurately, but also making them cheaper to produce.
Right, tackling that cost barrier we just talked about.
Precisely. That's key for getting them into even more applications.
Okay, now who's actually making these things? The competitive landscape? Any big names jump out?
Oh, yeah. You've got the established players, companies like Honeywell, Analog Devices, NXP Semiconductors.
Household names in the tech world, basically.
Pretty much. Leaders in sensor tech, lots of R&D, broad portfolios.
And are they just sitting still? The report mentions innovation, acquisitions, partnerships.
No, definitely not sitting still. It's a very active market. They're constantly innovating, developing new tech, looking for strategic partnerships, acquiring smaller companies. All the signs of a healthy, competitive space.
And it's not just the giants. There are newer companies, too.
Yes, that's also interesting. There's a growing number of emerging companies, often focusing on specialized niches or using maybe innovative manufacturing methods to compete.
So a mix of big players and agile newcomers.
Exactly. And the overall focus, competitively speaking, is pushing those boundaries. Smaller size, better accuracy, and importantly, lower power consumption.
Energy efficiency is always key.
Especially for battery-powered devices, yeah.
The report actually gives an example, doesn't it? The Sahikasi Corporation.
It does, yeah. Back in June 2020, they introduced this ultra-compact latch-type Hall IC, AK8781, I think it was called.
Hall IC. So that's a type of magnetic sensor.
Right. Hall effect sensors detect magnetic fields via voltage changes in a conductor. This specific one was designed for small DC brushless motors.
Okay.
And the report highlights its tiny size, its fast response. It really points towards enabling even smaller, more efficient motors and all sorts of things. The latch type bit probably means it holds its state, which is useful for control.
Got it. A concrete example of that miniaturization and efficiency drive. Okay, let's shift gears a bit and look at the different types of magnetometers. How does the market break down by measurement type?
Right. So currently, scalar magnetometers hold the biggest share.
Scalar, meaning they measure the strength but not direction.
Exactly, just the magnitude of the field. Their high precision in measuring that strength makes them really good for things like geological surveys, finding minerals, space exploration, anywhere you need to detect tiny changes in field intensity.
Okay, intensity is key, but something else is going faster.
Yes. Vector magnetometers are flagged as the fastest growing segment by measurement type.
And vector means strength and direction.
Correct, in 3D space. That ability to measure the full vector is becoming super valuable for more advanced mineral exploration, detailed geophysical research, sophisticated military navigation that's driving their rapid growth.
Interesting. So scalar leads now, but vector is the one gaining momentum because of that richer data. What about the underlying technology inside the sensors?
Okay, technology-wise, proton precession magnetometers currently dominate.
Proton precession. Sounds complex.
Huh? Yeah, it uses the magnetic properties of protons. Very accurate, very reliable. That's why they're preferred for demanding jobs like geophysical surveys, mineral hunting, environmental monitoring.
The reliable workhorse. Is there faster growing tech here too?
There is. The Overhauser effect is mentioned as a key driver for rapid growth.
The Overhauser effect.
Yeah, it's a technique that boosts sensitivity, especially for weak magnetic fields. It uses radio waves, basically. So these Overhauser magnetometers are getting picked up more for mineral and oil gas prospecting, detailed surveys, advanced navigation. Anywhere detecting subtle magnetic changes is important.
And they manage to combine better performance with reasonable cost.
That seems to be the advantage, yes, fueling their growth.
Okay, different tech for different needs. Now, what about the range they can detect? Low field, high field.
Right, sensitivity range. The report says that the low magnetic field range, think less than 1 milligauss up to about 10 gauss. That segment is the largest right now.
And why is that?
Just widespread use. Geology, archaeology, finding buried stuff, mineral exploration, the compass in your phone, basic navigation. Lots of applications deal with relatively weak fields.
Covers a lot of ground. But is there faster growth elsewhere?
Yes, the medium magnetic field range, say 10 gauss up to 50 gauss, that's growing rapidly.
Medium range. What's driving that?
It offers a good balance, good sensitivity, but it can handle a bit more magnetic noise. So you see them increasingly in automotive, like position sensors, healthcare tech, environmental monitoring, even some geological tools.
Especially with cars getting more complex sensors.
Definitely. ADS and safety systems are a big part of that growth.
Okay, so sensitivity matches the job. What about the physical form? Single axis, dual axis?
Good question. Product type. According to the report, single-axis sensors are dominant currently.
Just measuring along one direction.
Right. Simple, cost-effective. Widely used in consumer electronics, automotive, industrial stuff for basic detection or orientation along one plane. Plus, they're often smaller, use less power.
Makes sense for volume applications. But I sense a fastest growing segment coming.
You sense correctly. Dual-axis sensors are showing the fastest growth.
Measuring on two axes.
Yep, perpendicular axis. Gives you much higher precision for two-directional measurements. That boosts their usefulness in advanced automotive, aerospace, higher-end consumer electronics. Think high-accuracy navigation, electronic compasses, geophysical surveys. And they're increasingly finding their way into smartphones, wearables, autonomous vehicles. That's really pushing their growth.
Okay, trend towards more dimensions again. Right, final breakdown. End-use industries. Who's buying the most sensors?
Right now, the automotive sector is the biggest end user.
Not surprising given our earlier discussion.
Not at all. Autonomous driving features, ADS, EVs, they all rely heavily on magnetometers for wheel speed, position tracking, navigation, safety. Tons of applications.
It's a core technology for modern vehicles.
Yeah.
And the fastest growing industry using them.
That would be aerospace and defense.
Ah, back to the high-stakes stuff.
Exactly. The need for super sophisticated navigation, advanced defense gear, detailed geophysical exploration, it's all driving demand. Aircraft, spacecraft, military uses like mine detection, submarine navigation, satellites, critical components.
So automotive leads in volume, but aerospace and defense leads in growth rate.
Okay.
That covers the segments. Now let's go global. The regional analysis, where's the action? Starting with North America.
North America has the biggest slice of the pie right now, over 40% in 2025, around $1,583 million.
Wow, dominant share. And growth.
Steady. Projected CAGR of 6.4%. The U.S. is the giant within that, of course, followed by Canada and Mexico. Growth there is driven by, strong tech adoption, automation, lots of R&D, and big aerospace, automotive, and healthcare sectors.
Okay, immature but still growing market. Europe?
Europe is second, holding over 30% in 2025. That's about $241 million, and the growth is actually slightly faster, projected at 6.9% CAGR.
Interesting. Key countries.
UK, Germany, France are major players. Similar drivers to North America, automotive, aerospace, healthcare advancements, strong manufacturing, R&D, automation, plus maybe stricter environmental and safety rules pushing sensor adoption.
Right, regulatory drivers too. Now, Asia Pacific. Often the growth engine.
And it is here, too. APAC holds around 23% share in 2025, just over $1 billion, $127 million. But it's got the fastest growth by far, projected CAGR of 10.6%.
10.6%. That's huge.
It really is. China's the biggest market there. India's growing incredibly fast, too. Singapore's strong. It's all driven by rapid tech advances in electronics, automotive, consumer goods, IoT, industrial automation, plus just a massive growing manufacturing base.
Yeah, powerhouse region for this tech. Okay, moving on. South America.
South America has a smaller share, over 5% in 2025, around $162 million, but still strong growth, projected at 8.6% CAGR.
Pretty good growth.
Yeah. Brazil and Argentina lead. Drivers include aerospace, defense, automotive, mining, navigation needs, exploration, and infrastructure projects.
Okay, and the Middle East.
Middle East is around 2% share, about $171 million in 2025. But again, impressive growth projected at 9.2% CAGR.
Wow, faster than South America even.
Yep. Saudi Arabia, UAE are the main markets. Growth tied to oil and gas, mining, defense spending, exploration, monitoring, and big infrastructure investments.
Makes sense for the region. Lastly, Africa.
Africa holds the smallest share, around 1%, about $94 million in 2025. Projected growth is solid at 8.2% CAGR.
Still growing nicely.
South Africa and Nigeria are the key markets. Growth drivers are mainly geological surveys, resource exploration, mining, infrastructure development, and also defense and security needs.
Okay, so a really diverse global picture. Different regions, different sizes, different growth rates, but growth pretty much everywhere.
Absolutely, reflecting unique priorities and tech adoption levels.
This has been, really insightful. So if we boil it all down, what are the absolute key takeaways?
Okay, key things. 1, the market's growing strongly worldwide, hitting nearly $8 billion by 2033. 2, APAC is the fastest growing region, hands down. 3, it's driven by diverse applications. Consumer tech, automotive, aerospace, industrial. It's broad. 4, while scalar and single-axis sensors have the biggest share now, vector and dual-axis types are growing fastest, showing a trend towards more complex sensing. And 5, automotive is the biggest user now, but aerospace and defense is growing quickest.
Great summary. And for you listening, just think about how embedded this tech is becoming. It's in your phone's compass, yes, but also in the safety systems of autonomous cars, in critical military gear. It's quietly becoming vital.
Yeah, the sheer scale and the number of different factors driving this growth across all these regions and sectors, it really underlines its importance.
So that leads to our final thought, something for you to chew on.
As we rely more and more on sensing magnetic fields, how is that going to shape the next wave of technology? As sensors get tinier, more accurate, more integrated, what new things become possible?
Yeah, what unforeseen applications might pop up? Could these advancements unlock totally new ways for us to perceive or interact with the world? Maybe even giving us technological sixth senses we can't quite picture yet.
Something to think about.